Minions. What do I think of Minions? Minions are a plague, a substantial plague, on not only the entertainment industry, but on merchandise everywhere. I can't escape Minions for some reason. I see them in my sleep now because they fill the internet and my mind and retailers when I leave the store. They're alright. The Bachelor. Is that the one where like a bunch of women vie for the attention of a single man who's like kind of carefree but also rich? I mean, it's entertainment, ain't it? Not one that I would watch. ASMR videos. Was that the one where like people chew really close to the mic and like you can hear like the teeth clanking against the teeth? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. It's kind of therapeutic though. I don't know, I was always one of those guys that when someone would chew bubblegum too loud, it would make me cringe. This kind of feels like that. That kind of feels like there's something like pseudo-erotic about it that I think is why the video spreads so much, is that someone wants to be like that close to you twirling your hair. Like, I don't want that person in my life listening to that. You know what I mean? Sorry. Okay. AirPods. What are AirPods? Oh, I just got some of those. Yeah. I just feel like all of these new pieces of hardware are an attempt for us to buy other pieces of hardware associated with something we feel like we're lacking. Like the removal of the auxiliary port, to me, is just an attempt for us to lose smaller bits that they're selling to us so we can continuously get hooked on this chain of buying additional hardware. This is why I don't like that. I'm a utilitarian guy. I like my stuff to be, it's gotta be like a Swiss Army knife. I know it's all gonna be there. I know my headphones are gonna get tangled as hell in my pocket, but I wanna pull them out and they're my tangled headphones. And I'm just gonna plug them right in and still be able to charge my phone. This is something that seems like a pretty commonplace idea. Google Arts and Culture app matches selfies with faces from paintings. I like this in theory, but then I did it in practice and all I got were female cooks. They just kept matching me with female cooks. And maybe it's because I took a little bit of offense, but I like the idea that it's bringing more people into this app, and from there they're sort of branching out and seeing, like, I found a bunch of really cool photography exhibits from this app after I had a little bit of a rage once I took a selfie. Corgi photos. What's not to like? I feel like the internet is in the Wild West right now, and you get the really bad, weird, anonymous stuff, and then you get the really good, wonderful, cute stuff. And dogs and cats, and like how popular they've grown, and how connected we feel to some pet owner's life is the good part of the internet, because for bits and pieces at a time I can look at a bunch of corgis running down a hallway, slipping on the tile and whatnot, and actually have a little giggle, you know what I mean? That's the good stuff. Man buns. I had a man bun. Slime videos. What's a slime video? It's just a person on Instagram like pushing their fingers into making a fart noise, and yeah, look, you gotta go and talk to your therapist about those videos. Like, I'm absolutely not qualified to be any sort of authority on whether or not you should address this in a public setting. But you should probably talk to a psychiatrist if you're like, all you're doing is watching slime videos day after day, hour after hour. The term shipping a couple. I don't really understand the actual term, but I think it's cute. The first, oh man, this is an embarrassing confession. The first books I really got hooked to as a child were Japanese romance mangas, and essentially the only idea behind them was exactly this, was shipping the characters inside of these mangas, and they were a primarily young girl demographic. And so, you know, me internalizing masculinity in the West at that age, I felt like I had to hide and read them. But you don't, and you know what, it's totally fine, and you read whatever you want and like it. The Shroom Room. That's where we're sitting right now. I feel like I'm breathing spores, and that slowly but surely my gut is actually being healed. There are good types of mushrooms and bad types of mushrooms. Knowing your mycology is an important part of growing and understanding the landscape and your immediate environment. If you can know what plants are your friends, then you're gonna have a wonderful hike.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.